Hello, welcome, or welcome back to Heretical Tarot. My name is Liz. I will be guiding you on this journey today. I haven't even actually chosen a deck. I just, the energy was available for me to make this little intro. I'm like, am I going to be an intro girly? Yeah, for the time being. At least for this series of readings, there is going to be an intro. I want to set intentions at the beginning, or at least share with you my intention that I always have for every single reading that I do, whether it's on YouTube or one-on-one personal readings. I am not psychic. I am not claiming to be. I do know these cards. And my intention is for the message to come through me, not from me. For your highest good, for my highest good. We're just two friends reading tarot together. So anyway, I do also try to share the meaning of each card because you have your own intuition, and obviously you're the person that's involved in your own life, right? So I share the meaning of each card so that you can discern, you can listen to your own guidance around each card for sorry, I closed my eyes and all of a sudden I got lost. I am naturally a blonde. I immediately heard blonde moment. Anyway, I closed my eyes and I got lost. Bro. Anyway, okay. So yeah, you have your own intuition. You're the one, right, that's involved in your own life. I want you to know the meanings of each card so that you can also receive your own message, right? Listen to yourself. The whole reason I even give tarot readings is for you to return to yourself, for you to listen to yourself, which is why I'm probably not telling you anything you don't know already, right? I'm more than likely confirming or affirming things for you. No doubt your intuition is see, told you. But also, I do think that is important. I think that's an important part because once you know for sure, right? Once you have that confirmation, it's that you can free up the energy for what's next. You have confirmation. Now what? Right? Now what? So I haven't even really chosen a deck yet. Did I say that? This is a deck that I was thinking of in my mind's eye. Let's see if it even wants to do the reading or not. Do you want to do the tarot readings? Yeah, okay. That was the Ace of Cups. I do that for every reading too. Consent over here. Is there anything else that I wanted to say? If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would absolutely love it if you did, because honestly, community is becoming a big thing for me in what's next for me. So let's get on to the reading. Great. So this is a reading for Cancer, wherever Cancer shows up in your chart. I hope you're all doing well. I know Mars just left Cancer, yesterday? And it won't be back for another, is it 2 years? I think 2 or 3. I want to say 2. Is Mars in a sign for 2 months? Let me see. Yeah. Okay. All of a sudden I'm why is 3 keep coming through my mind? But no, it's 2 months. So anyway, yeah, Mars won't be back in Cancer for another 2 years. That shit was wild. I mean, truly. I don't think it was that gnarly 2 years ago. I'm trying to remember. But whatever, it's done. I hope that you're all doing well. I hope that you do just kind of feel, the energy shifting we have the Page of Pentacles. Love that. Starting something new. Something materializing. The King of Wands. Look at all this yellow too. Solar plexus. Creativity. Creation. Interesting that they're both like looking the same way too, which, you know, the left side of the card is the past. The right side of the card is the future. So it's interesting that they are both looking towards the past. So maybe just something that you started before, you're getting back to. I kind of feel like pulling one more card. That's the Seven of Cups and the Ace of Wands. Okay. I knew that there was one more in there coming from the future too. Huh. The Nine of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Beautiful. Yeah. I actually feel like pulling these cards out already too. Like I feel like we need to talk about them all together. 10 of Cups. So yeah, you know, the Page of Pentacles, pages are when we start, like we already have the Ace of Pentacles in hand here, right? So that energy is already there. It's already literally in our hands, right? And the page now starts to take action, starts to ramp up the energy with it. Pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's our time. Where do we invest our time? Where do we physically show up in our lives? Speaking of physically, it's our physical body and our health also. So literally any of those areas, I always call the Page of Pentacles the apprentice, because it is, right? Like it's like being a newbie, whether it is, you know, starting a new job or looking for a new job, even, you know, like researching a new thing, like, you know, something that you can monetize, or participating in a class, or, you know, investing in yourself that way. Also, too, if it does have to do with your health, then it's, you know, it's starting to make those changes, you know, starting to add in movement, starting to add in more, you know, whole foods, whatever the case may be, right? But whatever it is the beginning stages of it. So it is like, you know, just allowing yourself to be new. And like I said, right, they're looking towards the past here. So it could be, again, you know, reestablishing a habit, reestablishing, you know, boundaries in that sense. It could also even be an interest that you had in the past. If that had something to do with, you know, how you monetize, how you get income, how you make your money, you know, like going back to or revisiting something that you enjoyed. It could also even just be taking stock of, or just being like, okay, you know, like how I have been spending my money, how I have been investing my money, how I have been making money, like how I have been treating my health in the recent past, right? It could even just be more of a, you know, like a realization, or even like accountability is coming through. And then we have the King of Wands. Kings are the highest expression of the suit, right? Wands have to do with the actions that we take, the motivation behind the actions that we take, creativity, passion. How are you expressing those things? What actions are you taking towards those things? I also see wands as information by way of experience, because that's what we get by trying things, right? We figure out what works. We figure out what doesn't work. What do we like? What don't we like? What works? What doesn't, right? And it's wisdom, it's knowledge, it's information. And, once you get to the king part or the king stage, this is somebody who is knowledgeable. They have tried many different things. They have a lot of information. So it's almost too like you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. So it's like, don't look at it as like, just kind of starting from the bottom. No. You're starting from your experience here. And to me, this feels like being in the King of Wands energy, right? I mean, it looks like the king is looking at the Page of Pentacles, and they're like coming out from the future side of the card. It's interesting how that is like it seems so important in this reading. None of the readings that I've done like thus far have, it's like that is just jumping out as being important in this reading. But I mean, truly taking the reins of your own life, and even to like allowing for there to be creativity. The King of Wands is the entrepreneur of the tarot, right? Like in the sense of they have to have creative freedom. I feel like it would be hard for the King of Wands to stick to like a rigid plan. So it's like, what I'm trying to say is don't put so many boundaries around yourself to where it becomes restrictive, or, to where you're like, you have this sense of like feeling like you're suffocating because the plan, whatever it is too rigid, too restrictive, and especially to being a Cancer, right? Like with water, like give yourself the space, the container to be literally fluid, like honor that within yourself. We have the Nine of Pentacles between the Page of Pentacles and the King of Wands. This is success. This is individual success too. Financial freedom, independence, right? Like financial stability. If that is, the focus, this is literally getting your bag. But also this is being successful in your health. This would be, they have this whole bowl full of, right, like grapes. So even, like I said, right, about, I don't remember how I said it, but, like whole foods, right? Like adding in movement, adding in whole foods, whatever it is, right? So it's funny that this card came out. Even like the purple here, the purple is like third eye crown. I see purple for both of them. I don't know. But right, and it's the way forward. It's your way forward, like your vision forward, your connection to higher consciousness, source, divine, God, spirit, higher self. But again, right, it's pentacles. So it's like in the 3D realm, in your physical body, in your tangible assets, right? Like in your bank account, in your work. And then we have the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is about options, making decisions. It's also, there's something different in each one of these cups. So To me, that represents all of the different areas of your life. Anything that requires your attention or your emotional capacity, since we're dealing with cups. I also like with the Seven of Cups, it's kind of like the Marie Kondo effect of what feels good, like prioritizing the things that feel good, not the shoulds, not the obligations, not any of that shit, not right now, right? It is focusing on the things that bring you joy, that fill your cup, that do excite you. It's interesting too, because this specific Seven of Cups kind of feels like having your cake and eating it too. Because to me, in this specific Seven of Cups, all of these things are like, it's like they fit perfectly in the cup, and it feels organized. It feels balanced. It's kind of like the thing of like everything being in its place, and just the energy of like how that feels like, when you clean your room or you clean your house or whatever, right? Like you kind of you the energy shows up for you one day and you're just like, you're throwing shit away, you're putting other shit away, you're right, and then like even rearranging a room. But then all of a sudden you step back and you look at it and you're like, oh, what a relief. Like everything is where it should be. Everything is where I can find it. Everything is right. Like just the sense of accomplishment, or again, like the sense of relief that comes with that. That's how this Seven of Cups feels to me. And two, being able to see it in front of you organized like that, and being able to then like prioritize things instead of it all just being in like one big pile or one big mess, right? Like there's a dragon here. This looks like a castle. There's a person here. There's fruits in this one. I don't know what that is. A snake maybe, a wreath, a mask, whatever like each one of those things represents, right? But it's like once they are all in their own cups, then you can just grab one cup. And then you can put that cup back and grab, another one, right? Like it feels like less stressful, less overwhelming, which could be like what's happening over here with the Page of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles, like just organizing things, like, kind of prioritizing things too. It's interesting that we have this Three of Swords here, right in the middle. The Three of Swords generally talks about loss, rejection, betrayal, disappointment. There's three swords sticking out of this heart. One of them, this blood at the end of this one sword keeps like sticking out to me too, because there isn't blood on either one of these other swords. And I keep hearing bleeding heart. Even, this, the gray clouds that are around it too. And anytime, like when I think of bleeding heart, I think of martyr, or like sacrificing yourself for whatever or for whoever, because that's what you think you need to do, or that's all you know how to do in order to like, get a response or have your needs met, or whatever it is. Also, it's swords, so it has to do with our mind and our mindset and our beliefs. I also see swords as being the suit of ego, because that's generally where we hear our ego, is in our minds. And our ego is created by the stories that we attach to betrayal, loss, disappointment. And they're usually not very favorable to us, right? And it does typically tend to cause this martyr, people pleaser, sacrificing yourself thing. But I do believe that since it's like, kind of between, like there's information here, right? Like experience, life experience with wherever you are at now, right? You have all of that experience from your past to pull in on, to recognize whatever this Three of Swords is. Like, where are you being a martyr? Where have you sacrificed yourself? Or where are you currently doing those things? Right? But then it's like organizing, maybe even organizing those things, those stories, those experiences, whatever it is, and being able to objectively look at them and heal. It's interesting that we have another 7 here too, with the 7 of Wands. So we go from the 7 of Cups to the 7 of Wands. Ace of Wands here too. Kind of love that we have the King of Wands and the Ace of Wands in the same reading. This would be the point where, like, the king, because I feel like this dude and this dude could be the same dude. And I think it's just because of like the mustache and the beard. I think they are the same person. This would have been when they were gaining the experience. Also, too, even like being involved is like coming to mind. I'm like, involved with what? The 7 of Wands generally talks about standing your ground, defending your actions. This could be holding on to this story too tight, identifying too much with whatever the 3 of Swords is for you. Like whatever that story is, whatever the experience was, whatever is like in these cups. Because these 6 wands almost kind of look like a barrier, or like, something that they are like kind of barricading themselves behind. But then, they're standing there with this defensive stance holding this wand here. And, it just kind of feels like not allowing anything to cross that. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like that whatever it is that you are defending, if it is your story, if it is, the martyrdom, the sacrificing of yourself in whatever capacity that means, right? But if you are defending that, or even just holding on to it too tight, or even like what is like coming through is like trying to figure out a way to make that fit into whatever this new thing is. It literally trying to fit a square peg into a round hole versus letting it go. Also, though, on the other side of that, though, it also feels like having what you need, because they're holding this one wand in their hand, right? Like in a defensive stance. And if something were to happen to that wand, if it broke, if it fell, whatever, then they have 6 other wands that they can pull from too. Right? So it's like, it's having the information, it's having the experience. I mean, maybe you are going to have to defend a vision. Maybe also too, it's going to take some work in the beginning to be sure that all of these things stay in their respective cups instead of just, again, all piling on top of each other. And the Ace of Wands is something brand new. It's a spark. Like I said, I love that it's coming from the left side, or the right side of the card. So it's something from the future. And I also love too that comes at the end of the reading, because whatever this whole process is for you, this to me would represent success. It also represents what is next. through this whole process, right? Like allowing yourself to go through this whole process, this new thing pops up. Whether it is just a surge of enthusiasm, a surge of excitement. You know, it could be your spark being reignited. It could be finding a passion to pour your energy into. We have the 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, which is like the minor arcana card to the Sun card. It's everything good, everything in balance, community, purpose, fulfillment, family. And then speaking of balance, the 2 of Pentacles behind that. I love it. All right, I'm leaving it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.